Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and tonight I'm joined by Carrie,
Hello.
also known as Eric.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Um, we're continuing our classic days coverage with Bo and Hope's beginnings. So we're in 1983.
Mhm.
Um, I think we're picking up right where Bo first appears. So I'll roll the credits and we'll get right into it. So, like I said, I think we're picking up pretty much from Bo's first day. He gets brought in for, I think, buying a hot microwave, and I don't mean the temperature, I mean contraband.
Yeah.
You were funny, you texted me. Wait, no, it wasn't you. Lynn texted me because I sent him the clips, and he was like, wow, he's like, Bo kissing Marlena, like, first day or whatever.
Yeah, right. I was I was thrown off by that too.
It
But I guess it was just like a sister-in-law
was like,
kiss
welcome
thing.
to the family kiss.
Yeah.
So they're clearly newlyweds.
Hmm.
Marlena has a cute short haircut.
I'm not a fan.
Not a fan?
I'm not.
Right. She seems to like Bo. I've seen
Yeah,
people over the years like talk about how they should share more scenes together when like towards the end of his run because they've always had a connection.
right.
Um, Roman and him seem to have a contentious relationship. He thinks Roman wants to control him, and he throws. They have shouting matches.
What was his name before that they gave him? Do you
Oh,
remember? I forget what they called him. I was trying to remember.
oh, what was it?
It wasn't Bo.
Was it a real? Was it his middle
I can't
name?
remember.
Aurelius?
I, it might have been. They said some weird name, but
Yeah,
anywho, we'll come
I don't,
back to
yeah, I don't
that.
remember. I think maybe it was Aurelius, but I don't know. I
So
don't think.
real quick, before
Yeah.
we start, I was curious to see what my book said about this storyline. So I have here where it kind of started. It says, Hope, homesick and in the throes of late teen rebellion, left school and returned to Salem. When she fell out of her drunken date's car, Roman found her and took her to safety. She immediately became infatuated with him. I did not know that. That
Hmm.
that explains why she treated Marlena a little weird in the clip I saw, because I was confused by that, like why she treated her different. Um,
Um, I
it,
know about her crush on Roman because that plays out a little bit later. I didn't know that it started right off the bat.
okay, that's what it here says here in the book.
But that could be why
It
she's
says,
hanging around his house a lot, babysitting, because she wants to be
yeah.
near.
Well, that's what it says. It says later, while babysitting for Carrie Brady, Hope became reacquainted with Bo Brady, Roman's younger brother, and the two were amazed to see how each had grown. So that's kind of where it picks up.
Okay.
I was
Well,
just curious to know how Hope got back, like, if she came back way before Bo or what.
I think it was only a couple of weeks. I think they both came in April of '83.
Oh, really?
He
Okay.
came first. I think he came closer to the end of April.
So it was like a setup.
Yeah, it almost makes me wonder if they chem tested them, like screen tested them, and they were like, okay, we're gonna tell this love story.
Right.
um, but Bo and Hope on our screens met again for the first time at Shenanigans, the bar that Danny works at. Danny Grant, I think Valerie Grant's brother.
Does Doug own the place or is that a different place?
Shenanigans is a different place. That's the bar, like the dive bar that they hang out at sometimes.
Okay. So what's the place that Doug owns? Is it just like Doug's place or?
It's Doug's place. I was a little bit confused at first because I couldn't tell if Doug's place and like the lodging was like the same place.
Right.
But
I was having some issues too.
then later on, I think somebody took Hope home and she like walks into the restaurant like talking to Doug. And he was all dressed up and it was like dinner time. So I assume it must be part of the lodging, Doug's place.
Okay.
I imagine it to be, like, around a lake because they said that they live by the lake.
I wasn't positive because a lot of times when they were in the scenes, I thought they were in the same spot, but I did
Mhm.
see the shenanigans sign, so I wasn't, positive of where
Yeah,
they were.
Shenanigans is a different bar.
Okay.
That actually becomes Wings, I think,
No, I don't know that one either.
which is, like, an early '90s restaurant on Days,
Mm,
I think.
okay.
I might be mistaken. I know, Chris Kositchek takes over it at one point,
Oh, well.
and it's, like, his bar. So he runs that and the Body Connection, the gym that they all go to, which
And
was
then
in
I guess
the film too.
when Chris left, like they got rid of those things
Yeah, he took it with him
because
to
I
the
don't
other film.
because when I started watching in '96, those places were not there
No,
anymore.
there was a gym set, I feel like, in the late '90s. It was the Titan
Don't
Gym, that's what it
remember.
was, the Titan Gym.
Ah, okay, okay.
Um, so yeah, so Bo and Hope meet for the first time as older well, he's an adult, she's not, um,
Right.
at Shenanigans. He sees her and I think he takes a liking to her, he's flirting with her, and she says that he can get her a beer. Now, I don't know why she hangs at this bar trying to get a beer when the bartender clearly knows her and is always looking out for her, and he's not gonna serve her or somebody else trying to buy her a beer. Like,
Right,
it's never
right,
gonna work.
right.
But she keeps going and she keeps trying.
It's a bad plan, and I guess there's only the two bars in town, so they go to two.
The cheating heart's not around yet.
Yeah, yeah. It's not.
I can't believe they turned the cheating heart into, like, a coffee, place, like, Sonny and Chad turned the cheating heart set into a coffee house.
Right.
Meanwhile, it still looks like a bar.
I know.
Um, and they don't exchange names, or she doesn't say who she is. Well, they both don't, because I think if he would have said Bo, she would have been like, Bo.
Right.
Um, it's weird because I feel like Riley retconned their backstory as if like they were always in love since they were kids. And it kind of matches with this because they said that they played together as kids, even though he's a little bit older.
Right.
But in the fake flashbacks that they made in the '90s, it made it seem like they were around the same age and they like grew up together and they were always in love.
Yeah.
Um,
I didn't know what to expect when I was watching it. I never watched any of the '80s stuff, so besides clips and stuff.
he offers to take her home on his motorcycle outside. She won't give her name. He calls her Lady X. And at first she lies and she says that she's a college student, but she flubs it so badly. She says she goes to Lincoln High School. So he takes her home. And even though like I feel like these are clips, I feel like we still get like a full story. Like they're clipped in a
Yeah, yeah.
way where like we kind of it flowed better than
It's
the
way better. Way better. I think whoever recorded these in, in 1983,
knew what they were doing.
because that other stuff, I didn't know what was happening. I was like, wait, what, wait, wait. Like, I wanted to know more stuff, and now I feel like I know enough. Like, I didn't have to read my book. I just happened to look in it just out of curiosity about how Hope got back.
Yeah. Um I the only thing I couldn't understand, it looked like Marlena was at the Body Connection. I don't really know, like, what the Body Connection site used to look like back then.
Mm.
But it looked like she was running, like, a shelter of sorts or a teen center
Oh,
because there
okay.
was this, like, raggedy-looking girl named Jane, and she looked like she was
Oh,
homeless
yeah.
or something.
Yeah. I wonder what that storyline is.
Um, and Hope, I guess, is helping out there because she stops by, and that's when she sees Bo, and
Yeah.
they are, like, reintroduced to each other, and Hope automatically gets, like, an attitude, and it's just like But if outside he's like they used to play doctor, I know you have a birthmark on you, and she like cuts him off, and she's like, "Quit it, Bo," and she like storms off.
I didn't know Hope started out jerky like that. Like this Hope, Christian Alfonso. I didn't
Yeah,
notice that.
she's like always
Because I
ready to
saw
like fight with him.
Yeah, I saw like Julie doesn't get along with her and stuff now, and I'm like, oh, I thought they always got along, but I guess not.
There was another actress that played Hope, like a teenage Hope in '81,
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
and I think that was a story that like Julie and her were kind of like butting heads, and she like went to like boarding school,
Oh, is that what it was?
and then she came back as Kristen Alfonso 2 years later.
Right.
um, which is funny because I think she was only born maybe 10 years before that, and she was a teenager. But that's
And it
also
worked because Christian's great, like right from the start. Like she does a
yeah. A
great
lot of
job.
people say that she was rough. I feel like she did fine. I mean,
I
she
didn't
she
see
was
any issues.
serviceable.
Yeah, I didn't see any issues from however anybody else starts.
I think Peter Ruckle was better. I mean, I agree with that. But he also had more experience. He was on As the World Turns before this. So,
Right, right. And
um,
and he did an episode of Facts of Life for
oh, did he?
yeah, yeah, he did.
Oh, I have to keep an eye out for him. I'm watching that.
Yeah. Are you, which season are you in? The first?
I am in. I think I'm in the middle of season 3 right now.
I feel like he should have been there already, but maybe he's in the third season. Oh no, he probably isn't. He's probably like going in 82, so he might be like third or fourth season. So it might be coming up for you.
I have to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, yeah.
But that scene, where gives her a ride home on his motorcycle is like one of those clip scenes that like they always show in like
Yes.
memory like montages and like music montages.
Uh-huh. I seen that, and I seen another scene that we'll talk about in a little bit a lot
Mhm.
too.
Yeah.
I think it kind of ends on that.
So I feel like there's a little bit of time that passes because there's like probably like a few more clips, but it circles back to Doug and Julie not being happy that she got on Bo's motorcycle. So that's what I mean. I feel
Yeah.
like things flowed because I feel like we circled back to things in the clips. We didn't just like drop them and never heard about them again.
Yeah, like there was a lot. We saw a lot of people. I was very happy. There was a lot of Alice
Oh yeah,
and
Alice.
Sean,
Mhm.
and I was like, oh wow. And I really didn't know if that was the same Sean that I knew, Frank Parker, and it was. I didn't
It is,
realize
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I
Um,
didn't know, and he left, and then two more people took his spot, and then he comes back, something like that. I think I read.
yeah, mhm. Same with
But
Caroline, though. I think she came, left, and there was a different Caroline, and then she came back.
now we didn't see her. Is she on yet? Do you know, or you don't know?
I'm not sure. I'm not
Because
sure.
she wasn't on any of those clips as far as I
I feel like I
noticed.
remember in '84 it not being Peggy McKay, it was somebody else playing her.
Okay.
So she should be around soon.
It was
Um,
nice to see him because I was like, I haven't seen him, for a while, and I couldn't tell if it was him because they look different because it was like, what, 10 years before I started watching or so.
I always get so jarred when it's the brunette Kayla that's not Mary Beth Evans. I'm like, because who is that? And then I'm like, oh, it's Kayla.
Yeah. Catherine Mary Stewart, who's in a lot of movies.
Oh, I know that name.
Yeah, she's in a lot of stuff.
Okay.
You know her. I forget what she's in right now. I'm totally blanking, but look her up.
So Hope kind of like manipulates Doug, like, I wouldn't have to walk or get on motorcycles if I had my own car.
Mhm.
And she's doing this like right in front of Bo, and he's just like the spoiled bitch. Like
Right. Yeah.
and he
I
says
really
he'll think about it.
It comes across like Bo really doesn't like her to me. Like I don't like I thought he like he probably thought she's hot, but then he's like, this bitch is too much.
But
But
also
until
now he
like
knows she's underage, so he's like, she's a kid.
right. So
He
I
calls
didn't
her
think it
little
was like
one.
a
Did
yeah,
you know
that bothers me.
the
It
little one?
bothers me. Yeah.
Well, I liked it because I think that's what he used to call Ciara when she was little one. So that's why I was like, oh, he repurposed the name when he had a daughter.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do remember him calling it, but I don't know. It bothers me because it's because I know them like as a couple, and I'm like, I don't know, it just kind of skeeves me. Like it's like little girl and stuff. I'm like, ew, stop.
Um, I was a
Like a
little
year younger,
I thought it was weird to see you don't really know Liz as well as I do, I guess. It was weird for me to see
right?
Liz in, like, a candy striper outfit at the hospital, 'cause
Why?
to me, that's not Liz. Liz is, like, a glamorous, like, singer, and, like, I'm like, "Why is she at the hospital?"
Now, how long does Liz hang around? Does she hang around till like 86, or do you
Yeah,
know?
I
Okay,
think she was on from, like, 81 to 86
that's a
or
good
80
run.
to 86, yeah. Um, so, we see, Roman and Marlena's house. Remember I told you about
Yes.
the house?
Yeah, there was a lot of the house. Yeah, yeah. I like that set too. I was like, oh, this is cool. You know, watching this, like, I don't know, it brought me back. Like, it felt like familiar to me somehow. Like, even though I didn't watch it, I
Really?
guess, because it kind of felt like an '80s sitcom or something. The way the house was, I don't know. It's weird.
Well, I've said this in other podcasts. It just compared to now, I feel like the older show version of the show, it felt like a town. Like the set,
Right.
the outside settings, like it the props and everything, it just made it feel more like a real house, a real town.
Yeah.
Um, we saw the docks, which were on in the 90s, but I feel like they updated them. These look a little bit more like maybe they're the bad part of town.
Yeah. 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 We saw a bunch of the docs.
um, we saw Melissa, which is Hope's adoptive cousin, I guess.
Melissa, is she Maggie's? I forget.
She's Maggie's adopted daughter.
Adopted daughter. Okay.
Yeah,
Now, who did she adopt with?
Mickey.
Mickey?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think currently, when what we're watching, Maggie's with Dawn, which I think is weird. She's like with her best friend's ex-husband.
Yeah, I didn't. We saw Maggie like once, right? I feel like we saw her once,
Yeah, she had
maybe
like
twice.
really short hair also. It must have
That
been like,
we didn't see Don too much either. I saw Don like once and I was like, oh, is that Don? Like I couldn't really tell.
and we saw Carrie,
Yes.
played by Kimmy Gibbler.
Yeah. Andrea Barber, Kimmy Gibbler, yes.
So didn't Full House start in like 86 or 87?
I want to
Probably
say
87.
87. I think 87,
And
yeah.
this is 83, and it's only 4 years later, and I feel like Kimmy looked like, if not a teenager, almost a teenager, and I'm just like, "Did she have a growth spurt between Days and Full House?"
Yeah, she probably did have a little bit of a growth spurt.
I
I
like
know, she
my
looked
mind was,
pretty
like,
young.
blown when I first read that that was Kimmy Gibbler. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, yeah. It's cool.
So Marlena and Roman are having their house wallpapered, and they want Bo to do it or help out with it,
Yeah.
and while, Hope is babysitting Carrie, one of her lists of things to do is to, like, pull the nails out of the walls and, I guess, spackle or whatever.
Right.
So Bo helps her with that. Um, Marlena comes home with different wallpaper samples, and she at first is like, "Oh, this is really great," and then she's like, "Oh, really? Julie helped me pick it out." She's like, "It's not really my color though." Well, I picked the color, and she was like, "Oh, it's fine."
Yeah, it was funny.
um, Roman Bo is pretty much just like doing manual labor for free for his family. I feel like
Yeah.
he's just like bouncing around. He doesn't have a place to stay really.
No.
Um, so he ends up getting a tennis instructing job at Doug's place or the lodge, um, through David, which is Hope's stepbrother because he's Julie's son.
Right.
I laughed when she was having a fight with Julie in one of the scenes we saw, and
Yeah.
she's just like, "Oh yeah," she's like, "My my half sister and my mother." Or she's like that.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh yeah, way to remind the audience like
Yeah.
your relationship."
I know, that was funny. I like that too. She's like, yeah, you're my mom and my half sister.
Yeah. So, Bo gets a job as a tennis instructor and, exchanged for lodging at Doug's place, which is fine, I thought, like, great, you're pretty much paying for your rent, but, like, what about food? Like, you need money for
Yeah.
food, so maybe that's not, like, such a good deal.
Well, maybe he just figures he'll eat over Marlena and Romans.
Well, maybe.
What he said.
Maybe. Um, Marlena and Roman, I guess, are having a housewarming party, but they're
Yeah.
waiting on new furniture, and I guess Bo moved all the old furniture into the garage, so there was no furniture, and the new furniture hadn't arrived yet, and the party was about to start.
Right.
And somebody said it was Bo, I think. He was like, "Oh, they could just sit on the floor on pillows," or Roman said that. And Marlena had a moment where she was just like, "I don't have the type of friends that do that."
Right.
Um, so Hope gets it in her head, I guess after a fight with Julie, that she's gonna live on her own and be independent, and she kinda, like, runs off. But she keeps asking people for money, 20 bucks here, 10 bucks here. She ends up, at a, like, I guess, renting a room by the night for 20 bucks a night, that doesn't have a bathroom, so it's like a community bathroom. If she wants a room with
Yeah.
a bathroom, it's 40 bucks a night.
Yeah.
And
I
then
stayed at a place like that in New York
did
where
you?
there was 3 rooms to a bathroom. It was really weird. That was it was like the year before COVID.
Was that like an Airbnb?
I don't know. It said it was a hotel. I booked it on like hotels.com, but yeah, it was really weird.
Hmm.
Yeah, and gross.
There's this, like, older guy staying in a room across from her, and he's, like, eyeing
Mm.
Hope.
Oh, this is when she ran away, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he gets it in his head, I don't know if he, like, runs a sex ring or he likes I mean, I don't know how else to describe this other than sex ring. Like, he basically finds young girls and he, like, pimps them out.
That's what I said. I wasn't sure if she would like he was gonna like try to get her to hook
Mhm.
or yeah, like sex trafficking. I'm like, I don't think they would go sex trafficking in the 80s, but you never know.
Um, what he did to her, it looked like he was gonna do something sexual to her, the
Yeah.
guy that he gave her to. Um, so she is also on the hunt for a job, and they keep circling back to this diner, so I don't know if it's, like, the room she's staying in is, like, above the diner. I don't think it is because they're looking for the address she's staying at later on, so it must
Right,
just
right.
be nearby. Um, she keeps calling her cousin slash best friend Melissa to meet up with her to get her money. Melissa's a terrible liar.
Yeah.
She's very, like, I don't know. Why would you think that I know where Hope is? She didn't tell me. Who's Hope? I don't even know Hope. I have to go to work.
Right.
um, and Bo is really suspicious. Bo gets put on the case by Alice, and I think was it Julie?
Mm, I didn't remember
She said
Julie
her and
Bader.
somebody else, and she's like, "We decided you're it," and he's like, "I'm it for what?" And she's like, "To find Hope."
Yeah, but he rejected them. He's like,
Yeah, but he was
that's
still
what I
there.
mean. Like, I really don't think he had a desire to find her. Like, he was just like over her shit. That's what I got from it. I didn't like it with the way like I don't know, like the '90s made it seem like it was love at first sight, and I'm like, I don't think it was. Like the way, like, because I feel like it started out with like him kind of having a little baby crush on her, and he was like, I'm over this bitch. Like he was kind of like, whatever, we're friends, and like he really didn't want to find her. Like he did not want to look for her. He didn't care.
I think maybe she was more infatuated with him because before she ran away, like when she found out he was staying at the lodge, she was like in his room before he arrived, and he's like, "You better get out of here before your parents find out because they're gonna be pissed."
Right.
So I don't know if it was equal. She was infatuated with him, and she was also just trying to like rile Julie up.
Yeah. Probably.
um, and she gets like, noticeably jealous when he mentions that he has a date with an older woman who's 25.
Yeah, that's true. She does get jealous about that.
Um,
And the
oh, and
woman's
I
just
think
like an
also
A
before she ran
player.
away, she went to shenanigans and I this is the vibe I got from that scene. I feel like she hitchhiked because this random guy who she didn't know gave her a ride there. So I feel like she hitchhiked.
Yeah, probably. It
And then
seems
she
like
was
she
like,
was
"Oh, I'm
doing
getting
any.
somebody," and he was like, "Well, I'll sit with you while you're waiting." And like Danny was like, "I know that guy. He's a lounge lizard, lounge
Yeah,
lizard."
yeah. Lamb's lizard. Mhm.
And he's kind of like pawing at Hope, and he won't leave her alone. And then when she goes to leave, he like corners her outside and like gets her up against the wall and like roughs her up a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, Bo comes to the rescue, and then I think Roman and Abe come.
yeah.
It's definitely Roman and somebody else.
I think
And
it was a.
he asks Bo to take her home, and he's like, "Nah, I'm done," and he like leaves. And then Roman gets mad at him because he takes her home, and Bo's at Doug's place, and he's like, "Why didn't you just take her home if you were coming here?"
Right.
And in my head, I'm like, "Because she's not supposed to be on his motorcycle, like, duh."
Duh.
She's probably also not supposed to be at shenanigans.
Yeah, right. It's
Um,
just making all the wrong decisions or choices.
right. Um, I'm trying to think if there was anything else with Melissa that I missed.
Mm-mm.
I think that was it. I think she was just trying to like cover for Hope.
Yeah, that was it. Bo
Um,
asked Melissa about it, about her running away, and she didn't really help any.
so Roman, Bo, and Uncle Sean. I still call him Uncle Sean.
Uncle Sean.
Sean Brady.
Big Sean D.
Yeah. um, I guess they were fishing or they were helping Bo find Hope. So they're at
Right.
the diner that Hope frequents, and they're like questioning a ditzy girl who apparently has the address, and she thinks she put it in her purse, and she has like a million receipts in her purse. So she's just like going through every piece of paper in her purse.
It's Francie.
Francie. Oh, it was Doug. Doug was with them.
Right.
Because he was like,
Oh
"Come on,
yeah,
Francie,
Dougie.
come on, Francie."
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
Bo
it was
finds,
Doug, Sean, and Bo, right? It was the three of them.
and I thought Roman.
And Roman, yeah. So four of
Okay,
them.
it was the four of them.
Yeah, everybody was there.
Um, Bo ends up finding the address written on a piece of paper behind the counter, and they go, and they're just in time because Hope's being tied up with a belt by her wrists to the bed, and this guy's getting really rough with her. He rips her dress, and we can assume that he was about to rape her. But Bo
And
comes to the rescue.
that guy's name was Victor, which I thought
Was
was
it?
weird.
Was it?
Yeah, I was like, Victor. I'm like, I don't think that's supposed to be the Victor, right?
No.
I guess it was just another random Victor.
So they get him off her. They call the cops, and they spot the guy that started this all that was like staying across from her.
He
Um,
was probably gonna join in.
Probably.
That's probably why he was hanging around the room. And then they like ran
Maybe.
after him.
Um, Bo comforts Hope, and he was actually kind of nice about it.
Yeah, he hugged her because she needed a hug.
And I think
She
she kind of
was
learned a
freaking
lesson
out.
from that because the next time we see her, she when she sees Bo, she starts to get riled up, like she's gonna be nasty, and then she like pulls back and she's like, "I guess I deserve it," like after the way I was behaving.
Yeah, yeah. It was
um,
cute.
but so going back to Marlena and Roman's housewarming party, I guess the furniture
Mhm.
came in time. Um, and Hope comes with a guy, I guess, to make Bo jealous. And Bo recognizes the guy, and he's kind of giving him looks. And turns out he's the guy that he bought the microwave from. So we circle back to the microwave.
All goes back to the microwave.
And also there was a bartender that was like scoping out the place before the party, I guess to like rob them.
Right.
Because he tried to run out the door with like a bag of things and they caught him. Oh no, he ran off. Like, he got away.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of theft in Salem.
It's the 80s. There's stuff
Doesn't feel like a
everywhere.
safe place.
Yeah, right.
So then I guess we're up to the last scene, right? The carnival.
Yeah. Yep.
So this is another iconic scene that's used in every like montage or like
Oh,
anniversary
yeah,
thing.
that's exactly. I've seen that scene a million times, but I never knew when it happened till now.
So I think it's around 4th of July at this point.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Um so there's a kissing booth that Marlene is supposed to be running and Roman's like not happy about it. Neither is Eugene. He doesn't want Trista, who
Yeah.
I think Trista is Marlena's cousin, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to bring up Trista. I totally forgot. That's horror icon Barbara Crampton.
It's funny you say that because my friend Matt said that she's known for horror now, but she's also Leanna Love on The Young and the Restless.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, she's in like 30 horror movies.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
At least. Yeah, yeah. Look her up. She started in like I want to say like 84, The Reanimator, I think was her
Mhm.
first one. And they're good. She's in some good stuff.
Matt told me she's in like the newer one, Get Out.
I don't remember her in Get Out. I don't know. I don't remember her in that though.
She was also on Sunset Beach its first year.
I don't remember her on there. I
Do you
watched
remember,
the first year, I thought.
do you remember Casey, the lifeguard?
Mm-hmm.
She played
Timothy
his mother.
Adams. She played his mother?
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember her. Was she only in like a few episodes?
See, I haven't watched all of Sunset Beach. She may have had
Mm.
like maybe a 3-month arc, 6-month arc. I think she came on and she had cancer. I don't know if she died of
Okay.
cancer. Um,
Hmm.
and it may not even been cancer. She was sick, but I'm saying cancer. Um,
It's always cancer.
yeah.
Or
So
me and my friends say TV disease. Sometimes they have diseases that they
or
can't
disease,
diagnose.
right?
We call it TV disease.
So Roman pulls Marlena away, and Eugene pulls Trista away. So Hope gets put in the position to run the kissing booth, and Bo has
Of
like a
course.
million tickets.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm not kissing you," and she's like, "I can handle it, Bo." And he goes in for the kiss, but he kisses her on her forehead.
Yeah, I like that.
And she's like, "Oh, hell no." And she like grabs him and pulls him and like kisses him passionately. So that's their first kiss.
It was
Uh,
a good one. I liked it. I was like, all right, all right.
and then he gives her some extra tickets and she's like, "What's this?" And he's like, "A tip."
They did a good job with I like how they wrote it. They wrote it and it took, it's what for us it was only what 2 hours. But it spread out throughout like 3 or 4 months, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like a slow burn type of storyline.
The town residents that are attending this thing are singing "You Are My Sunshine, My Only Sunshine."
Oh yeah, yeah, I
And
think yeah, I wrote that.
Bowen Hope looked a little coupley. She looked like she was like sitting on his lap or whatever on the bike when like everything was like paired off.
Yeah, that was weird when they said that. I was And they didn't even like just end it like with like the first verse. It like sang the whole song. I'm like, all right, we could have ended that and cut.
I wonder if that was like a tradition. Like, you know how Guiding Light had the Bauer barbecue every year?
Yes.
I wonder if they had like a Horton pic. They think they did because I remember something about a Horton picnic. So I wonder if that was
Yeah. I believe they did because I remember some stuff in the 90s too that it
Mhm.
kept going on and maybe even in the early thousands.
It wasn't like super consistent. Like sometimes they would do it for a few years and then stop and then it would come back. But it's been a
Yeah,
while since I've done it.
that was the same with the Bauer barbecue. Sometimes they would have it, sometimes they wouldn't.
Hmm. But I think that was everything. Did I miss anything that you remember?
No, you covered everything.
What did you
I
think?
think like I said, I liked it. I thought it was well done. And like, Soapy's, I feel like we like anything. Like once we're like, I
Soapies?
like if
Is
it's
that what I'm
well
talking
if
about?
it's
Soapies?
yeah, it's like if it's well written, like and I feel like it was pretty well written. I like how, they didn't just hook up. Like I like the little push and pull of things. I thought it was cool. I liked it. I'm curious to see where it's going. I really honestly have no idea. Like I only remember like when I see clips, I remember something about a Larry Welch, which I know, but I don't remember how that all comes about, which I don't think that's until like 85, 86. So we got a long time
No,
for that. And I'm not
he
positive.
comes this year, 83.
June?
He comes
Really?
yeah, like November-ish.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was that early on.
because he's a creep and he is at Hope's 18th birthday party at the last week of 83.
Ew.
Yeah. I never
All
understood why
right.
a politician, I think he was a DA who went into politics. I
Right.
never understood why he was pursuing an 18-year-old as his wife for politics. Why he wouldn't get like a woman, like an older woman his age.
Because
Like,
he's a dirty dog.
and I don't understand why like that was gonna make him look good, like to vote for.
I like Larry Welch. Like I seen him when I forget when he came back. He
2002.
came back, was it 2002?
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, I remember
They
that stuff. And
kidnapped
I
her.
liked, yeah, and they showed like clips in the past. So I've seen things, but that was what, 20 years ago, so I really don't remember. I have to
I
I have
had
to
only been
rewatch all of
watching
things.
at that point. I had only been watching maybe a couple of years consistently. And I remember asking like my grandmother, I'm like, "Who is this guy?" And she was like, "Oh, he's like from the '80s." I was like, "Oh, he's real. He's not like a made up person that they just brought on." She's like, "No, he was
Yeah,
actually on the show."
yeah, it was that's cool. I like that they keep getting him back. He
Yeah,
was just he was just in the thingy too last
Beyond
year.
Salem.
Yeah, which I thought was cool.
He was in Purgatory.
Yeah. I love continuity. Anytime there's some kind of continuity, I like that stuff. So it's cool that he was like a villain from like day one, pretty much for them, and
Yeah.
still is. It's cool.
All right. You have anything else to add?
No, I look forward to see what's next.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for our beginning of our coverage of Bow and Hope 1983.
Boat.
Bope.
Stupid.
As always, you can find us on all the socials at Queers and Soaps. And until next time, have a great day. Bye.
Bye.